Hey guys, Fizz here bringing you another video. Now welcome to game 3 of the Diamond Promo, and we're doing the last few episodes of the Diamond Promo mini-series within Climb to Master. A little bit different. So again, I'm a little bit more serious about the climb this year than the past few. So in important games that I'm like, I really want to win, we're going to kind of probably do it this style or a replay style. Let me know which one you prefer. So basically, I played this game a few days ago, and I recorded my point of view, POV, and I'm doing the commentary on top of the footage. The other way of doing it, obviously, is just getting the replay file and doing it that way. Let me know which way you prefer, because this way, obviously, you get my point of view, you can see what I'm, where am I clicking, where am I looking on the map, you can see my perspective, which is good for a lot of people, but some people might like the replay that I can move the camera any way I want. Obviously, with this, I can't pause it. So yeah, let me know in the comments which way you prefer. But I hope people are okay with me doing it on, like, important games. So again, we are in Diamond Promo. So far, we did the Darius game, and we did the Annie game, and that made us have 1 loss, 1 win. So, the way that I've always done promos, best of 5s, is if I go loss-win, win-loss in the first 2, I then treat the remaining 3 games as its own little mini-series. So also, we're against an Anivia. I went Fizz, and I picked Fizz into Anivia from memory. And basically, the principle of the lane, it's like a lot of what Fizz is. Survive early, and then, you'll probably be able to snowball mid-game. Maybe even starting around level 6. And it's basically any champion that has, like, low mobility struggles against Fizz. But you'll notice the first couple levels, Fizz does struggle. Because it's the melee matchup, Fizz gets all his, like, dodging, his troll pole to a dodge, like, a Nivea Q and stuff, after, a few levels. So level 3 is where I'd say you can start being a bit more aggressive as Fizz. So bot lane has already died. So I will say again, I played this game, I want to say about 4 or 5 days ago. So it is, like, vaguely in my memory, but I also will be discovering this game as well. So you can already see they're dead in the bot lane. If you look at the bottom left, you're kind of thinking, I'll say, this is where you've got to have as much of a strong mentality as possible. Because, I mute them instantly, but it's like, you're in Diamond Promo, first time this season, and you get that, and you're like, oh, really? Like, Sarah, come on now? Like, it's annoying. And we all, I imagine, are in that same boat. It's frustrating. And, the annoying thing, what I've always kind of thought, is, it's going to sound weird, but these players that are like this, who are, like, instantly giving up, or you lost lane, like, again, I may sometimes be like, oh, that was bad, but I'll never type it because it's pointless. Do these people not see what they're doing is, like, really bad? Like, I never really understand why. Anyway, we go for an all-in. We use both summoners. Nivea does go down. She uses both summoners too, but I didn't commit for the kill because I thought Kayn was below the mid. Really close in getting the kill. Doesn't look so. Nidalee actually cancelled an auto attack. She's going to try and get away from the Kayn. Really close to kill the Anivia. But again, getting the early summoners from Anivia is also a really good thing. You don't necessarily have to get a kill to make it a successful gank. So Nidalee is trying to run away. She actually had the scuttle speed up there, thankfully. I think she might have died if she didn't have the scuttle speed up. So that's good. So a relatively even trade in the bot lane. So you see here in the bottom left, you'll occasionally see me type notes to you guys specifically. I'm never going to type this to my teammates, but I literally just was pointing out, I haven't had a winning bot lane in over 10 games. Now, for some reason, this Nidalee overstays. I get a free kill. No idea what that was about. So obviously, yes, I'm now getting attacked by Kayn, but it's like, well, thanks for the free kill, Anivia. If you're wondering why I walk that way, I look to walk through the Kayn and then Q back into him, but he gave up as that was happening. But yeah, free kill. I have no idea what that Anivia just did. Like, if she was typing, she just wasn't paying attention, or, like, did they think that, oh, Fizz will come for me in a kill, we can kill him, maybe? I don't know, but when she didn't have egg form up and your Fizz, yeah, I'm gonna kill you. So the snowball, you could say, might be beginning as me as Fizz. Also, top lane worth noting, Darius versus Yorick. It is what I'd call a really fun matchup for both champions, because it's like, it's kind of a ticking time bomb matchup that Yorick should win later, but then on the other hand, it's not guaranteed, because if the Darius is just a really good Darius with positioning and everything, Yorick can't win. So unfortunately, I'm circling the Nidalee there because she actually did not go in on that engage at all, which was a little bit weird. So Alistar gets, I guess, baited in. Then Nidalee's now saying 100% boosted to the Alistar. So again, this is what you'd call an incredibly annoying situation to be in. It's like mid lane's like, hey, I've got myself a kill. Darius seems like he's doing okay. He just survived a gank. And then you look in bot lane and go, it's just an absolute fiesta. So I decide I'm just going to kind of go as aggressive on the Anivia as I possibly can. We get her to like a 5th health. Positive trade, we go to half health. The reason why I'm doing that, by the way, is because, again, I can kill her. Which champion benefits of being at lower health if she doesn't have passive? I do, because I've got my troll pole to E. So I can avoid damage. She can't. You know, she can't really keep me away either as the champion. You know, her wall, Fizz is like, what's a wall? You can just jump over it. So we're near it. Well, we are level 6 now. So Anivia, I do believe, has gone back. Because, again, part of being aggressive... Oh, she hasn't. Wow. Part of being aggressive, if you land your ultimate, she's dead too. So right now, she should go back. Again, I have vague memory from this game. I don't remember if I get this kill or anything. So I am going to go for it. Alistar is also coming for a roam, but I think it's a bit too late. I get stunned, but then again, that's the benefit of Fizz. Get stunned, and then whoom. So that's nice. Kayn is returning into mid lane to try and just, I think, get the farm. Alistar actually does a really nice combo there. And well, wait, we can kill this guy. So I go for an ignite on him, and we just kill him. Straight up kill him. Really nice play by Alistar there. I get the slow on the Sona. Sona is also going to go down, and that gives me a double kill, and in essence, a triple kill. Because we got Anivia, then we get Kayn, then we get Sona. So I'm now 4-0. I have 100% of my team's kills. So yeah, things are pretty good so far. So that's a nice situation to be in. Am I saying anything? Snowball time is what I'm saying, and I say that to my team, which is true. Again, what I'd say, the chat, you can use it in a couple ways. I very rarely use the chat, but what I'd say is never type something really positive in the chat. Negative in the chat, sorry, but just type positive things or type neutral things. Neutral things are fine, and you know, if I'm saying to my teammates, just mute him Nidalee, that's just to try and get the Nidalee back on track of the game. Like, the focus of the game, like, here's the point. If your teammate is distracting you, 100% mute them no matter what, because they're distracting you from winning the game. And they're on your own, they're on your team, which doesn't make sense. But yeah. So top lane, again, you'd probably want a Darius to win that lane early, but very often Yorick's just play incredibly passive with their ghouls and their W and stuff, so it's actually hard to snowball off it. I'm now going to go for a roam. Jhin has to be careful. He's very low health. Alistar mucks up his combo completely. Nearly going to go for the Kalista. Alistar does go down in the end. Going to go for the Sona. I go for the ultimate play. She still has flash up of all things, and Nidalee does get the spear, so she gets herself a double kill. So I would say the Nidalee so far has been also playing relatively well. She did try to go bot lane a couple of times, and it just obviously didn't work out. And, you know, mid lane's going great too. And the annoying thing, really, with mid is if when I go for those roams, I use my ultimate, don't get anything for it. It denies me, like, when I can kill this Anivia. Like, right now, I'm incredibly confident that I can just kill this Anivia if I land my ult. But if I'm using my ult bot lane, then I can't kill the Anivia. So again, that's part of the decision-making process of what is more useful right now. And, you know, roaming bot lane is never going to be bad, especially when your bot lane has had a very bad early start to the game. Because, you know, if you turn that lane, you're doing well, Darius is doing fine, you turn the bot lane, then it's probably going to be a win, question mark? So yeah. Kayn's top lane again, Alistar is now roaming, so there's a couple things about the Alistar roam. Is he roaming because that's his playstyle, which it very much could be, Alistars do like to roam, or is he roaming because him and the Jhin are raging at each other, and he's like, screw you, I'm not going bot lane anymore. Again, I muted both of them, and once I mute people, I don't unmute. So I don't know. Alright, so I do go for a roam just in the top lane. I was kind of just seeing if Kayn was low health somewhere. You never know. Some junglers like Kayn or whatever, they'll farm until they have to go back. So they could be in the jungle with a couple hundred health. That's like an easy kill. But you won't know that unless you roam for it. And even just roaming for it is pressure. Like, my team now know where Kayn was. They know he was full health. Like, there's information you're getting by finding the enemy jungler. And that's why sometimes it's so confusing when you're in mid lane and someone, like an enemy, your own jungler just walks through your lane. And you're like, what are you doing? Don't give away free information as a jungler. Like, part of your job is being secretive, is being sneaky, and letting the enemy team guess where you are. Engage coming out by the Alistar. I'm going to go for a play here. Don't land the ultimate, unfortunately. I question decision. I was like, who do I go for? And if I had to play that back again, I actually should have gone for the Sona, because I'm 99% sure the Calista was dead and the Alistar wasn't going to die. Meanwhile, Kayn was just chilling in the bush, so that was actually a really good counter gank that I didn't even know was a counter gank. So he was waiting in the bush ready to make a play, and I just got in there before him. Nidalee coming to the mid lane, just covering the lane a bit. So I will say, I'm probably going down on farm. Again, I can't check because I don't have control over the camera right now. Next time I press tab, you can kind of check it out. Nivea overstaying. I really don't know what this Anivia's playstyle is. From memory, she was a big Anivia player. She walls, but Nidalee jumps on over it. We are going to continue going for the kill here. Nidalee is going to go for a flash play. Yorick does die to the Darius. Going to go for the Anivia play, and she is going to die to the Nidalee. So that's really good. Again, we get the Anivia flash off. Again, when you're getting her flash, that makes her more vulnerable to Fizz, because obviously the lack of mobility to dodge the ultimate. And that's why I picked Fizz into these matchups. Any champion, practically, that has low mobility in mid lane... I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Does anyone beat Fizz with low mobility? Probably not. Like, all the ones that don't have any dash outside of flash, I don't think would, like, beat Fizz if the Fizz knows what they're doing. So, yeah, like, that's a really good thing. So, Calista's coming for a play. We see her, and I'm like, let's go! And she dodged it. I don't know, like, we did see, I think, very briefly a ward there, so maybe she just was expecting it, or she had very quick reactions. But yeah, it was unfortunate that I missed that. Kayn, for some reason, is, like, just around, you know, without a care in the world, which is a bit odd. He's now floating around. He just used his flash. I'm waiting in the bush. He is going for the Nidalee, of all things, and he just gets exploded. Very questionable Kayn play. Like, he's incredibly squishy. He just burnt flash. The Anivia also, by the way, is far behind this game. So even if Nidalee was there in time, the 2v2, they were never going to win that. And you can see in the chat, Kayn, Anivia's brain dead, holy moly. What? Like, I'm sure most of you can agree that was nothing to do with the Anivia. So I'm typing, he's blaming the other winner. He just walked into us in a 2v1. Yeah. Like, that was such a weird... And again, this is the weird thing that I've always said, is the people that especially type in the chats, I don't know if the word is delusion, but Jesus, people are delusional when it comes to League. Like, I don't know, if their brains just turn off in some cases. That's like, if that Kayn watched that replay back, but it wasn't him, right? It was the exact same play, but it was another player. 100% that Kayn would be like, what's that guy doing? Like, there was no situation for that to be positive at all. So yeah, weird. So what, we are at 12:55 in the game. We are now 5:02 with 75 farms. So my farm is a little bit low, but again, we've been having the general playstyle of roaming around. Again, I'm probably naming this video something on the lines of, if memory serves correct, farming champions, not creeps or something, or farming champions, not minions. Because I will admit, that is, honestly, it's a weakness of mine, HuzzyGames, that I focus a lot on kills when I'm on a champion like Fizz. But the weird thing is, I never pay attention to how many kills I have. So right now in this game, I can see I'm 5:02. While I'm playing this game, I pretty much can guarantee I'd have no idea I'm 5:02. Because I don't look at how many kills I get. Like, I think it's a relatively pointless thing to look all the time. Because then, you know, your attention will go to the wrong thing. Meanwhile, Alistar goes for an engage. Questionable. We are coming to try and help out, though. He just goes pop. I'm going to come from the back line, land my ultimate on the Kayn. He ults me, just moving far away. Which actually, I just made a mistake there, but whatever. Going to go for the Sona. I am going to go down after Sona gets flashed. Jhin ultimate's coming down. Kalista is going for a 2v1, which is questionable. Nidalee's going to try and pop her. Kayn gets the nice route, and he will survive. All those missile threads, whatever they're called, spears in the Jhin would have killed him. Nidalee picks up the Kayn, which is lovely. And now the Anivia, they don't know where she is because there's no river vision. So it's now the matter of, can they survive the Anivia? So they are going to go for a play. Right now, if that W hit, that should have been a kill. Nidalee potentially going to look for the kill on the Anivia. If she lands a spill, she does. She is going to go for it, and boom, there's the burst in the end. So again, this Nidalee is pretty clean. It was just, I think this Nidalee's plans in the early game were unfortunately a little bit, I want to say, foiled by the Alistar a little bit. Like, every jungler in the game, let me know if you're a jungler which lane you prefer, but every single jungle main has a lane they prefer. I prefer ganking bot. I prefer ganking mid. Every single jungler in the game has that. and this Nidalee might prefer bot. And her early game, her plan may have been a little bit ruined by the bot lane losing so badly. Again, if you rewinded the whole way, I'm pretty sure what happened is I think they got cheesed at level 1 in the tri-bush. I think. And then Jhin got killed or something like that when Alistar had to go back. It was something on the lines of that. The circle, by the way, is me just pointing out that I'm looking for an ultimate. That's the Huzzy code. I also, by the way, just got First Blood Tower. I haven't really been trying to get the tower that much, so yeah, you can see instantly as Anivia was in lane, I was like, boom, let's go for it, man. I am looking to be very aggressive on the Anivia. Kayn comes mid lane, gonna go for the all-in on the Anivia, gonna see what I can do. Okay, I back out with Flash eventually. Kayn is potentially gonna chase, which I don't think is gonna be a great thing for him. He jumps on the blasting cone. I'm now gonna move to maybe bot lane, throw a ward in the bush just behind me just to see where he is. Gonna pick up this plant, and that would, you know, get me to near enough full health that I can join in this play again. Alright, so enemy bot lane going for a play. Stone ultimate engage. Alistar does the re-engage. Kalista does a bunch of damage. I'm now coming to the fight. Gonna go for a EQ, EW, whatever combo I just did. Kalista, no one, by the way, is going in. This really annoyed me. You'll see I'm spamming assistance, and the Alistar just didn't go in. And for those that are saying, oh, he might have not had abilities, doesn't matter. Like, if he just put his body in front of mine, I probably would have lived. Jhin does pick up the kill, though. Nivea gets caught, but not Nivea. Nidalee gets caught, but just manages to survive. So overall, it's a completely fine thing. 2v1, 2-4-1. I die. Two of them die. But yeah, when no one went in, Alistar just like stood there. I was like, what? Like, walk in? Holy moly! So that was a bit frustrating. And by the way, if he did have abilities up, even more frustrating. And I'd say that is the benefit, like we mentioned earlier, what type of commentary. If I was doing a replay analysis, we could have seen if his abilities were on cooldown. You know, that's the thing. All right, so we are now 7-2-3. We're just over 17 minutes. The game is going quite well, but you'll notice I'm still not above 100 farms. So like I mentioned, we really haven't focused on farm, and it is a weakness of mine. And a lot of people say, you know, I can still get wins like this, and it's true. But the higher in rating that I get, the less I'm farming well, the more it's going to hurt me. Because basically, when you're looking at assassin-type champions, what's very common, the lower ratings. Meanwhile, 2 between top lane, Alistar gets killed by the Auric under tower. But what's very common, the lower rating you go when people are playing assassins, is they literally get no farm and a lot of kills. And if it doesn't work, then they are very weak. So it works very well if you're snowballing from kills, but you're incredibly weak if you're not getting kills. But when you're looking at like the likes of Master and Challenger players, that's where you start to see even these types of champions, Fizz and all that. That's when you start to see even these type of champions farm like crazy. So going for a play on the Yorick. Darius does manage to survive just. I'm going to go for the play on him myself. Use the troll ball. Get the kill with the ignite, I believe, and just managed to run away. So good survival. Enemy team is on their way, though. There are pings coming down by the Jhin. Flash play by the Kayn. She gets killed by overstaying. And what you're about to see is a play that really confused me. Darius just decides to stand still in lane. I honestly don't know what was going through that guy's mind. Like, no idea. So, like, there were so many pings, and Alistar late engages too. There were so many pings about that whole situation. I'm going to go for the Kalista. Don't manage to get it yet. She is going to probably go down. Do get her in the end. Also, Alistar gets the kill on the Sona from the tower. But yeah, I have no idea what that Darius was doing. Like, there was, like, ping, ping, ping. Enemy team's on their way, and he just stops. Anyway, right now I am kind of thinking I could go for it. And what I wasn't expecting there was the ignite. If I didn't get ignited, I think I could have got, like, at least one of them. If I played it godlike, maybe two. But yeah, I just got ignited, and it wouldn't have mattered if I troll polled, because it goes through true damage. One argument that I've had, by the way, and I've had many people kind of say if it would be good or not. So the whole concept of true damage is it's supposed to go through any type of damage, but it doesn't. I've had some people have arguments that even true damage should go through something like Zhonya's. So like an ignite that has true damage, it should burn through the Zhonya's. I think it would be pretty cool, because the idea of true damage is it's supposed to go through everything. Where true damage, to me, becomes unhealthy is that true damage should do less damage than normal damage. But it doesn't, not really. It's kind of weird how Riot have done it. But yeah, that's an argument that I've definitely heard. But anyway, I think at this stage of the game, we've got 9 kills before 20 minutes, which is quite a lot in this rating. I am kind of thinking about maybe going for a bit more farm, but every single time I'm like, right, I'm just going to stay in mid, I'm going to go for some farm, something happens. It's like, oh, Darius is now getting caught again. It's like, I've had very little time this game just to kind of relax and get farm. It's really annoying. Going to go for a play on the Anivia. She now didn't have Zhonya's, but she had stopwatch. I then get caught, unfortunately, because the whole enemy team showed up right at the end there. Alistair does go in, which is a bit questionable. Darius is going to go and look for the Kayn. He does a really good ult time. But yeah, we need to group, and I will say, I admit that in that situation, that was bad from me. I went in for the Anivia. As soon as she got the Zhonya's, I think I should have backed off. Like, hey, we got her stopwatch. She can't do that again in like a minute's time. But I went a little bit too deep, because again, in a weird way, this game, even though we're winning it based on the kills and deaths, I don't feel like we're actually winning the game, if that makes sense. And I'm pretty desperate to try and do as well as I can with getting kills, because that was my objective this game. So, yeah, not ideal, but we're going to continue. Going to respawn now. Build-wise, by the way, it's a pretty standard build on Fizz. You get the 2 component items for auto-attacking. Again, just to, like, reiterate the point, maybe I should have done it earlier. Meanwhile, literally potential little bit of an overstay here. But anyway, to reiterate the point, when you're playing Fizz, buy Sheen and Revolver as components and then finish the Proto Belt. The reason why is if you finish, let's say, a straight up Proto Belt or a straight up Lich Bane, those pure items don't do more damage than the 2 core items of those 2 items. So yeah, it's a lot more worth it. Anyway, Kalista overstays. Going to go for the Kayn myself. She should die. I use my... I think Revolver does a bit of damage there. So Kalista arguably being a bit too aggressive herself. That's a potential Baron opportunity, because again, Kalista does seem to be the tricky one on the enemy team, but we're not going to go for it in the end. I'm not sure if we've got a Rift Herald available, or if that's already been used. I can't remember. Anyway, I'm going to go look for sieging, but Darius is top lane. Again, I know I'm a little bit biased against split pushing, but it is for reason. I really don't think split pushing is the way to go if you're serious about climbing. And again, these guys are getting completely caught. And a lot of people always counter my point by giving me examples of other content creators and stuff, but the examples that they are giving are always like Smurf series on like a Jax or a Yasuo or a Tryndamere. It's like in the real situation, just don't like split push. You're making it so much harder for yourself. So anyway, if you're wondering why did I just go for that play, just to slow them down, I really wanted to kill the Kayn. Obviously, I didn't have ultimate. I throw the FF vote because I'll be honest, and some people are going to be like, Huzz, that's negative. When you're in a game of solo queue and you've had a pretty good performance, but you know the bot lane, they were interesting in the early game of being a toxic. I'll say my state of mind in this game was not incredibly positive. I just banged my elbow. So when you're seeing this type of thing happen, it's like I just kind of want to go into the next game. Again, I'll make the point. Whenever I throw a surrender down, I never stop trying. Like right now, even though I have surrendered, I'm typing things down here, I'm not giving up. It's just part of my brain's like, this is going to be really hard to win. Maybe we should just go into the next game. So what I'm saying here is we could have forced them to surrender at 20 minutes. And I'm 100% we could have done that. But we've been doing so many pointless things in the side lanes, namely the Darius. Like, if he just grouped, I think we could have ended this game, as I mentioned, really quick. Big play happening. Kayn goes for an engage. He is potentially going to die. I'm going to throw my ultimate just to hit the Yorick. Jhin ultimate coming in the back line. I'm looking for the Kalista, if I'm honest. I'm going to go for the Kalista. So now, by the way, what did we just do? A group play. So when Darius is in top lane by himself, again, really not achieving much. Like, if he had nearly broken down the inhibitor, it's like, okay, you know, you got the inhib, well done. But he hasn't even got the tier 2. It's not like the pushing in top lane has been crazy. It hasn't. Sona is probably thinking she might have lived there. No, I'm not letting you live. And this is now the Baron. So it's distracting those guys, not coming near the Baron. I don't really know where Anivia was in that play. But again, it seems both teams are in the position that whoever is like AFK on their team who's not grouping is basically losing the game. Like, if Darius is top lane, we struggle. If Anivia is not with them, they struggle. But yeah, like I mentioned before, I just don't think split pushing is that good. I used my Revolver by mistake, by the way. Gonna go for a play, but then Kayn shows up, so I'm like, screw that. I bugged through the wall, apparently. So yeah, we're approaching the 25-minute mark. I still only have 113 farm. So I'm kind of thinking Kane was around the area. There's a Gromp up. He's going to be doing it. And again, part of it's like guessing, but also it's like, what would I be doing? So he does go for it, and I go for a really bad ult play. I'm going to continue going for the kill because I think I can kill him anyway, and we do end up getting it. Really bad ult by me, but that's a really good kill. So what does that do? That gives us time to go back, buy, and then regroup, basically completely for free. Like, the enemy team have got no new pressure because they can't push out because they're down one person. So that's a really, really good kill. So now we should be grouping because we've shown this game when we're 5, we haven't lost the fight. When we're 4, we do, because that opens up the opportunity for, like, Jhin to get caught. If there's a Darius and an Alistar and a Fizz in front of a Jhin, he's relatively safe. But if it's just a Alistar and maybe a Fizz, he's a lot more vulnerable. So I really want Darius to group, and I will say, it is a bit frustrating when he isn't. Gonna go for a play here on the Sona. She does get Kalista ulted out, which is a nice play by them. I accidentally pressed my Zhonya's looking to do a corrupting potion, but I did the wrong thing. You'll notice again, Darius is not grouping. Throw some pings on him. And yeah, I don't know. The mentality of split pushing when it's not needed confuses the living hell out of me. But it's something that I'll say I'll never be able to change ever in my games because it's been a thing since Season 1. I'm not kidding. Like, I've played this game for a very long time. It has been around forever. So Darius is finally now here, and you'd think, oh, we're in a bad situation. We're outnumbered. Again, the strength of a Darius in the team fight is absolutely outstanding. We have an advantage right now. I hit that ultimate, by the way. I was really surprised. So we have the advantage. As soon as Darius shows up, I'm like, we can win! So now we go for the re-engage. Again, we are technically in a 4v5 because Alistar died, and we win a 4v5. So again, if this game, I'm hoping this game just shows you anything, I'm typing it. This game is so much easier when you group. Like, the Darius is saying, I don't know why FF, because he wasn't grouping. Like, sometimes I will say, a strategy that it's risky, and I've had people say to me before, what do I think of this? Even if you think you can win, sometimes if you throw a surrender down and you say why you're surrendering to your team, I'm pressing FF because you're not grouping, sometimes it'll force that person to group. It is a strategy in its own. I will say, I'm not claiming that I did it this game, but it kind of worked. Like, eventually Darius did group. But that's going to be it. That is another win in the Diamond promo. So we'll go out into the out bit just to kind of see all that good stuff. So waiting for it, because again, I'm just watching the footage here myself. Come on, me, or past me. So I throw an honor down. Again, I'm not sure if I honor anybody. Okay, I honor the Darius because he played well, but he stayed cool. He just needed to group more. So we level up apparently with a capsule. Alright, so, again, that is another win in our promo. So, we are now 1 loss, 2 wins. We go 11, 5, 10. And again, like we mentioned, we farm champions, not kills. I had the most kills in the game. And we had 119 farms. So, a pretty iffy performance by me, if I must be honest. We got an A-. We got honored once. So, again, if I had to go back in time and say, what would I do differently this game? Farm more, for sure. Again, that is a weakness of mine when I'm focusing a bit too much on kills. But I will say I liked how much I focused on kills in the early game because I do think it did help. You know, gold-wise, I'm in the mix with the gold, so it's not like I'm behind. But basically, the risky style of this strategy is if you don't have a good game and you're not looking for farm, well, then you're going to be very weak. So I'm just basically waiting for future me to show the damage done if I'm going to do that at some stage. Again, that is also another problem with doing these like post-game replays, is that I must have gone to get a drink. Like, why am I being AFK right now? I have no idea. But yeah, just to point out, so an 8-1 performance by Darius, a 6-1 performance by Nidalee, 5-3. And again, remember that the enemy, my bot lane basically gave up as soon as the game begun, but they did pull it back. You know, the Alistar iffy performance 1-8 is not great, but you know, we won. The things that they were saying in chat, which I would never do after First Blood, like one of them was typing, oh, game over, you lost the game. It's like, not really. Like, I will say there has been, for some reason, a much bigger presence of negativity in chat in League of Legends games than recent memory. So any moment, again, I'm just kind of delaying until I actually show the damage done. And for those that are wondering, this isn't a screenshot, this is actually footage that I've got, but I'm just not doing it. What I guess I'll do is I'll fast forward and just edit the fast forward in. Wait, I don't show damage. Oh, okay. So apparently I just didn't show the damage numbers. My bad. I'm guessing I did quite a bit. Maybe if I'm smart, right now I'll edit over the damage over the client right now. There you go. Look at those damage numbers that I can't see when I'm recording this. Hopefully I did a lot of damage. Anyway, that's going to be it. If you guys did enjoy, throw a like on it. And I will mention tomorrow's episode, if I am doing it tomorrow, another Diamond promo game will be in this same style. Because again, I am trying to climb a little bit more this season. I am trying to focus a bit more. And sometimes you can't really focus while doing a commentary. I've always said, if you want to moan about not people who are doing YouTube and stuff and do full game commentaries about not climbing, or it's a bit, you know, they're distracted, do a commentary yourself. You don't have to be a YouTuber. You don't have to like live stream it. You don't have to upload it. Just record, like, just play a game like you're doing a commentary and see how well you do. And then translate that into you're also then in Diamond with other Diamond players that aren't distracted by doing commentaries. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, that's going to be it. Like, subscribe, comment down below what you thought, and I'll see you guys next time. See you.